Hey everybody, continuing to work on my Logan lathe here. But what's going on today is I repaired the variable speed drive on this Logan. You can see how the drive system is up under here. And I got that fixed. And what's happening is, on here, right in this area, rides this drive pulley. And the drive pulley, I don't know if it's missing a piece on the spindle assembly. I don't have an exploded diagram, but it's missing something because there's a 165 thousandths gap of play between the snap ring that holds on the drive pulley and the back of the face of this gear, so that when the drive pulley's on here, you can move it back and forth. I put a dial travel indicator on here on a mag mount, and I found it was 165 thousandths. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a spacer here that will take up the play. It'll still have good engagement between the pulley, the gear that's attached to the drive pulley and the back gear here. And so the spacer is going to be able to fix that. So I've got this piece of stock in the Atlas Craftsman lathe to make the spacer, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the ID, and I'm going to turn the OD, and then I'm going to use a parting tool to come in and knock my spacer off. And I'm going to leave about 5 thousandths of material left on the width of the spacer. I'm going to bring it to about 170 thousandths so that I can finish it on the grinder, the surface grinder. And I plan to leave about 2 thousandths play for end play on that pulley, which doesn't seem like much, but I think that's gonna really help to snug everything up in there, but also just have a little tiny bit of play so that everything's not grinding on itself or binding. And we'll see how that goes. So that's the plan, and I'll set up my camera here on a little mount so you can kind of watch the process as I'm going along. What I've done here with the marker is, because I don't have digital readout and I don't really care to keep track of my crossfeed dial until it gets closer to the critical dimension, is I took my scale and I marked out, close to the ID that I'm going to have there, which is going to end up being about 2-inch diameter for the ID. And I just marked out where it gets close to 2, so that I know that once I've gone up and erased the black line there, that I'm getting close, and I probably ought to get out my telescoping gauges. So that's the plan. That's the strategy. Let's see how it works. Okay, actually looks pretty nice in there. Got my steric caliper here, and I'm just going to take a reading just to see if I'm getting into the ballpark. And I got about 175 thousandths left to go. I want to increase my speed. Okay, I'm gonna get a final reading. I'm gonna take 10 more thousandths off right now. And that's right where I want to be. All right, I'm now set up to turn the OD with a high-speed steel tool. Going to put a chamfer on the ID and OD. What I'm going to do is have the chamfered side go in, and then the flat side is going to go against the drive pulley. All right, it's back together. And it sounds nice.